I don't know. I see. I don't know if you've seen the comment earlier. So Dan posted the photo of the cookie a couple of years ago, and someone said it looks like a teddy bear, and it does. Hi Tracy.
Back in a minute, just eating the dinner. Got sold off last time I was eating on camera.
It's freezer surprise as well.
Yeah, freezer surprise.
Just showing it into the groups. Sue says, Mark, you have caught the sun.
No, I'm just out of the shower. I haven't seen the sun, Sue.
Hi V. Hi Jan. Hi Jane. It's okay if you miss anything. If you want to catch up, it's all there and available. Got really weird, like, baby hair scenario, but it's not even baby hair anymore. So I do apologise. Been for a dog walk and that's not helped it.
Can you still have baby hair at your age?
You can have baby hair at any age. It's new hair. It's just this one. I've had it pinned back all day and it's still just, yeah.
Okay.
Jan says she has some cooking questions when we have a mo. Far away. Hi Julia.
Oh, there you go. Just needed to eat quickly.
You do look like you caught something.
Yeah,
Why do you
no.
look like that? Every time you have a shower.
I know.
Like...
That's how hot it is. I added the 2 flowers to... Really? Which video is this? But I have been outside today. I was repairing the garage door. And sod's law. Repair one side of the garage door because it come off its hinges. Locked the garage and the key snapped as I locked it. So I then had to bust the garage door back open again.
So back to ground zero.
No. At least it's hanging on its hinges now. Oh, that enchilada was spicy. Cheese it and leek. Oh, that wasn't me then, was it?
Well, it might have been an old recorded video.
Right, okay.
We haven't done a live.
Wow, I don't remember ever doing cheese and leek soda bread. That sounds great though.
It's in OMG.
Okay.
It's my recipe.
Is it?
My adaptation of the recipe.
No, but it sounds like a really good recipe. I don't know. I don't think I've ever tried it.
You will have, because I made it.
Okay. Who was Ella? Right. There you go. You can tell by the hands. Yeah, mine are the ones that are not chewed. Yeah? Yeah. I don't even want to drink my coffee. My mouth's on fire.
Have some water.
I've just had some, but I need to refill it. Anyway, evening, folks. Yeah, apologies for the many weeks that there have been in between last Q&A to this week. It has been an absolute crazy time at the bakeries in the last few weeks. And I'm absolutely grateful for a weekend off. Mouse on fire?
I wish we could see the subtitles like as.
Oh, is that what he says?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course, we could have to watch Facebook, wouldn't we? Yeah, so obviously tonight, as any Q&A Friday night is, if anyone is new to the group, or even if you're not new to the group and you've got questions you want to ask, whether it be cooking, fitness, how to get started, all those sorts of things, then feel free. Jump in. The lot that are commenting right now are regulars, so don't let them put you off asking a question. Just barge in with your question. They'll all pipe down if they see something sensible come through. Oh.
Was it Jan with the...
Right, Jan, what were your questions? What did you want to come and ask? Oh, here we go. I think it's here. RG, we're live, yeah?
Chill out.
He's just got back from his walk, so he's quite excited. Okay, right. Okay, so inulin is a difficult one. So I think that the sweeteners are just the generic versions of sweeteners that you'll find in pretty much most supermarkets, or if you go and look for a sweetener, a sugar-free sweetener, those are the ones you find. Inulin is a little bit different. It's not very sweet. Don't
use it when my recipe. If it's a recipe on the website, I will have said what sweetener to use, and 99% of them are the erythritol and stevia blends, and they can be swapped for other stuff on the sweetener alternatives page. There's a reason why inulin isn't on that page at all. Is because I haven't done enough research with it to know how much to swap, and it generates a texture, whereas other sweeteners don't. They just have bulk. Inulin does something.
Inulin changes the product, so you can make things like fudge with it, can't you?
Yeah, it's also expensive. I know all sweeteners are expensive, but inulin isn't expensive for how much you would use.
Yeah.
And you have to be wary of how much you have in a day because it's a prebiotic fiber. So inulin is good, and yes, it doesn't have an aftertaste because it's not technically a sweetener. It just has a sweet taste. Just don't use it unless you know how to use it.
So essentially, if you're looking at the sweeteners to use within sweet treats, bakes, that sort of thing, stick to the erythritol mixed with, and they're all generally mixed with either stevia or monk fruit, or the xylitol. You'll find xylitol widely available supermarkets. It's a cheaper sweetener compared to the stevia versions. Monk fruit you can't buy in the supermarkets. But obviously it's got its issues as well as xylitol, so you have to be careful around animals. And I think pretty much the sweeteners can be swapped one for one, can't they? If you're using xylitol, then...
Xylitol I tend to use a little bit more than what we use stevia and erythritol, but it's down to taste.
Some people will just use erythritol, which is the bulking agent of the stevia blends. It is sweet, but you have to use a lot more of it if you're just using erythritol.
Yeah. And
that's where people have issues because you can taste it then. It's quite a nasty taste if you use too much. Didn't want to get partners, grandchildren's Easter eggs. I'm wondering if your children's cookbook would be good for them 2 to 6 years old. Well, it was made by, as in conjunction with and inspired by, what was her name? She was Maya. She was maybe a little bit older than 6.
Yeah, she was maybe 8, 9.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a cookbook aimed at sort of getting young children involved in the kitchen. They're very simple recipes. Obviously, as any good cookbook would say, make sure there's an adult present just in case. But yeah, I hope it says that, by the way.
It was a couple of years ago.
Actually, that was 3 years ago.
It came out with FFS.
Wow, is that 3 years ago then? Right, okay.
Actually, FFS turns 3 this month.
FFS turns 3. Wow, we need an FFS BP. However, yes, it'd be a great little gift. Or make some chocolate. Making chocolate isn't as difficult as most people think. I mean, you make it quite regularly, don't you? It's just the ingredients are quite expensive, though, aren't they?
Well, yeah. Even if you just melt down store-bought chocolate and then experiment with fillings.
Yeah.
If that's something fun to do with the kids, rather than making the chocolate
itself from scratch. Yeah.
Which is just melt it in a microwave and mix it in a bowl. That's what I do. There's more technical ways of doing it. Thank you, V.
A friend of mine placed on it. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, V. Was it Panda? By the way. There are many panda flying out the door at the moment. Many panda. Yes, monk fruit is available on our website. The sweetener mixed with erythritol. In fact, there is some on the website, but there isn't much. The new delivery is apparently on its way from far away. Yeah, no, it's great if you can inspire anybody to sort of get back in the kitchen and you know, make some of their own, even if it is making your own sweet treats. You'll certainly you'll use less additives, put it that way. So straight away you're gonna be better off that way. You'll probably use less sugar as well than they add into theirs. So even if you sort of followed a fairly sort of traditional recipe, you would you'd still make it better. Well done, Dan. Well done.
Hacking the system. I'm assuming that's meant to say he can eat gluten.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he enjoyed it. Just said so. Emma, I need to get back to you. Emma, did anyone get back to you today about your password? Did you see the email from Emma?
No, I didn't.
Right. Okay. I've been out all day, Emma. I'll deal with it as soon as we finish here. Cinnamon loaf. Do you know what? It's the cinnamon loaf. Actually, that came out Easter time last year, didn't it? Is that about a year old now?
Yeah, well, because we did the Easter one, and then because people were just asking for it, we just did the cinnamon version as like an all year.
Right, because I knew I was practicing with the cinnamon loaf in February last year. That's the first time I produced it. Hi, Matt. Do you want to stick it up there because I'm struggling with the cameras in the way. Ground linseed. Okay. In supermarkets, it's pretty much gone. I've not seen it available and you know, I haven't looked for it specifically, and it was more widely available in Morrison's and Aldi. Okay, so they both had milled golden linseed. I've not seen it in Aldi for a long time now. Oh, right. Okay, no worries, Emma. Maybe the wrong Emma then. I haven't seen it in any of the supermarkets, and currently we're waiting for a supply as well. So things are taking longer to get through. So we're waiting for our next supply of ground. You can do it yourself. You can just buy golden linseed, and if you've got a coffee grinder, it'll blitz down in seconds. It's very, very easy to do. Don't over blitz it because you'll make it into a paste. So it takes maybe sort of 5-10 seconds to blitz into a powder or a flour, and then you can use it. You just use small amounts at a time. But yeah, it is. I can sort of understand why supermarkets maybe are not stocking it, because we're having problems getting it in the country as well. So it is a bit of an issue.
Jan.
What average shelf life of baking ingredients have opened in a calendar? I mean, when we send them out, they generally have a 6-month shelf life with datum 6 months, because we're opening sacks all the time. So we fill the bags from our supply, which means it's the freshest. Rather than bag up hundreds of bags and they sit there for months and months, we actually use the stock that we're currently using. So it's generally, been open that week or very recently. They all come with a much longer date, but I feel it's best to keep it as a short date, purely because if you don't keep it in an airtight container, then it can spoil. They'll keep for a long, long time. I mean, things like linseed, it's such a high fat content that as long as it's dry, as long as you're keeping them in a dry sort of, cool environment, they're fine. You'll smell linseed if it goes off. The flours, I mean, if you're using gluten, arrowroot, those sorts of things, they won't go off. The only thing that I've never, I'm always cautious with it is yeast. But we don't send that out.
So it's just the bread mixes.
Yeah, bread. Yeah, in the bread mixes. That's again, we only put 6 months date on the bread mixes, just purely because the yeast can die essentially. What am I talking about flowers for? That's brilliant. Arrived today.
Get sausages in a coffee and walnut cake coma.
Arrived today. We
So that would have been sent Wednesday.
wow. Okay. We didn't think they were working today. Well, I'm pleased you've got it. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Enjoy the coffee and walnut cake. Well, I made some. I brought it home as a little trial. The cherry and almond cake. It's good.
I'm not really fussed about
Are
it.
you not?
Mm.
Oh. Right. Okay. So maybe some of the Aldis still do them. I've just not seen. And Lidl's do the fruit flavored versions of the seeds, whereas it was Aldi that always did the brown linseed. So actually, if you can't, sorry, who was it? I don't know who asked the question about golden.
Matt?
Is it Matt? Yeah. If you can't find golden, just use brown. It'll make the bread darker, but essentially it's the same thing. It's just brown rather than golden. Can you ever overload on seeds? Yeah. I'd say, high fiber. Maybe it depends on your digestive system.
I mean, you'd have to drown your meals in it.
Yeah,
just sprinkling sesame seeds on top of stuff.
Yeah, you would really sort of have to go some to overload on seeds. You'd have to be eating them handfuls, and that's no different to handfuls of nuts and things like that. A lot of calories in there. They're high fat, lots of fiber. Just be careful. Right, no worries, Matt. I'll have to watch this back then, V, to watch the subtitles. Maybe I need some elocution lessons.
I don't think
I'm finally getting my taste buds back after the enchilada.
Nice.
Fantastic, brilliant. I even put crosses in the buns, although there was no white cross. I crossed them when they were proving. He's back. Hello, Timothy.
Isn't that my biggest fan?
He's my biggest fan. But yeah, they were quite nice, weren't they? The crossed buns. Do you eat yours hot or do you eat yours cold? Because I always prefer mine hot, toasted. Enough for budgies. What are you on about?
Seeds.
Oh, right. Honestly, budgie, you and budgies. Oh, blimey. Don't want to diss anyone that's got a budgie, but blimey, they're annoying little things.
None of your granddad used to have one, didn't they? Used to,
Oh, Manchester?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought you meant down here then.
Well, no, but they were down here. They weren't in Manchester when they took care of the budgie.
No, that A, that wasn't the budgie, and B, that wasn't theirs.
No, I know. They were taking care of it.
Oh, right. It wasn't a budgie.
What was it then? I'm sure it was a budgie.
No, I'm positive it wasn't.
Hang on.
Budgie chat. Hang on a minute.
Budgie bird.
Yeah, no, I know what a budgie really looks like.
Budgie.
It was bigger than that, wasn't it?
No, it was tiny.
I thought that looked after a bigger one.
He had a fringe.
He had a fringe.
That's all I remember. He was green and he had a fringe.
Oh, blimey.
And he was very noisy.
Honestly. Do you sell the sugar alternatives? The monk fruit sweetener, yes, V. Drop a link in. There you go. There'll be a link there. We need a proper pastry for cheese and onion pie. Hang on, who said that? And what do you mean, proper pastry? Cat. What do you mean, proper pastry? What's wrong with my panda pastry? Me and you will be having a fight round the back of the garage in a bit, yeah? Yeah? Proper pastry. And we've had this conversation about cheese and onion pie. It doesn't do anything. There needs some substance to it. It's here, Jan. I just wanted my coffee to cool down tonight because my mouth was on fire.
You not set it to like a lower temperature.
Oh, of course you can. You can set it to whatever temperature you want. Yeah. Anyway. Let's not get into budgie chat. Yeah, this is not this is not post watershed yet.
I can't remember the details.
All I'm going to say is that I grew up with 2 budgies in the house, probably for the first, I don't know, maybe 13, 14 years of my life. Wow, were they noisy monkeys.
All I know is it just hopped from one branch to another in the cage constantly.
Right.
And he was green, and he had a fringe, and he wouldn't shut up.
I'll give way to your superior knowledge.
And I'm pretty sure his name rhymed with Budgie, or it was alliteration or something. But I can't remember what it was.
Fudgy?
No, it began with a B.
Oh, right. Bertie.
It was Bertie the Budgie.
Was it Bert? Right. Blimey.
Short crust.
Right, okay.
You want short crust pastry?
Short crust. Okay, but there was a little experiment that went on today, which didn't quite work, but then I've been given a suggestion as to what to do with it, so I'll have another go. But it won't be this weekend. I'm not doing any form of cooking this weekend. Hello, what's happened there? I'm just being signed out.
Yeah, another cow.
Is that what he says? Right, okay.
Oh my God, Sue!
What's she saying? Right, can we just Right, so you are live on Facebook, so yeah. Oh my God. So everyone wants a budgie called Fudgy. Yeah. Sue should never own another pet ever again. See what happens when we just let this happen. Come on. Any sensible questions? Where's Dan when you need him? Dan, hey up, Dan. Where are you, Dan? You've always got a good question. Or anybody that's new watching. There's quite a few people on this evening. Please feel free to jump in and save me from budgie chat. No, we'll save that for the members Zoom later. Anyway, how's your week been? Let's move it on.
Well, I was just about to say the dogs saw horses on the road today.
Oh, okay.
So RG's obviously seen horses before, and Coco's seen horses before, but not like right next to her on the road.
Yeah.
She was not a fan.
Was she not?
She got disturbed by the sound of the hooves. Because if they've ever seen horses been on grass, and they were on the side of the street, so like the pavement was here, they were there.
Yeah.
It's just twisting around. There's 3 of them. She just didn't know where to look.
Wow. Not enough fat on a budgie.
Yeah, and they always look particularly tall when you're walking down the road and suddenly 3 horse riders come. I don't know why they went up the high street. It was quite busy.
They're stables.
No, but yeah.
So they're going that way?
No, they were going that way.
Oh, right, yeah, the stables.
Yeah.
Behind the church.
Matt.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. I like Matt. It's feeling tired this week. Could we bother to cook? Need a quick, tasty option, but didn't fancy anything. Egg base. Any ideas? Yeah, steak. I mean, actually, or my go-to is just chicken thighs. It's such an easy win. It's whack 'em in the ninja. Stick them on roast for 45 minutes. Go and have a shower. Go and tidy up, and by the time you've done that, they're ready. And that's for me, that's my quick sort of. All right, steak's quicker. A steak, if you want to eat within 10 minutes, straight in there. But yeah, I get what you mean. I very rarely have eggs for dinner. If it's anything, it'll be first thing in the morning. But yeah, actually, it was Louis a couple of days ago. He said, "Oh, what can I have for dinner?" It was like there was pork shoulder steaks in the freezer. I just whacked them under the grill. 15 minutes later, they're done. So something like that. That's why it's always best just to have a couple of small pieces of protein or packs of protein just in the freezer that you can just throw into the Ninja or other air fryer mini ovens are available. Probably never seen one though. Long, Sue? Long? Oh, you've got a leg of lamb, 2 kilos. How long? How ping in the grill? I'm really trying to decipher your messages. How long in the grill? Got 2 kilo leg of lamb. How long in the grill? I would always slow roast. I mean, why does everyone try and do this sort of like as quick as possible? I'd wrap it. Give it some whole cloves of garlic in the foil. Give it some rosemary and just stick it in the oven, whichever oven you've got, for about 3 hours on low. Just let the meat fall off the bone rather than you having to sort of like cut it off. You went slow roast, but all right, slow roast in the grill. Yeah. I mean, I'd easily do it for like 3 hours, 140, 150, 3 hours. I'm planning on making the no-bake cheesecakes working for visiting a friend on Monday. We haven't had a no-bake cheesecake since my birthday last year.
Well, funnily enough.
Am I having a no-bake cheesecake for my birthday this year?
You haven't asked for it. I was going to say, your birthday's next week.
Can I have a no-bake cheesecake?
You can. There's a packet of jelly in the cupboard, so we could do it.
What flavour?
Raspberry.
Yeah, I'll do.
I've only ever seen raspberry and orange recently in the supermarkets. I know lime is quite nice.
Lime is good.
We're going to Lidl tomorrow, so I'll see if
you won't get it in there. You'd have to go to Morrison's.
I've seen it in the middle aisles recently. Partly sugar-free.
Really?
Mm.
Oh, okay. Right. I'm a fan of the no-bake cheesecake.
In fact, we've not had it in ages.
Oh, I honestly, I think...
Just last year. Last year you had...
Did we have trifle last year?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, so it's a couple of years since we've had a no-bake.
Yeah. And I can do pecans in the base because I've got a bunch of pecans.
Yeah.
Makes a really nice cheesecake base.
Yeah, nice.
Is it a rolled persimmon, slow cooker, garlic and mint?
Yeah, so I love the idea of just slow roasting it. Just, I've done it with like joints of pork, stuck it in the oven and just stuck it on for like 6 hours. Because even when it's beaked and finished cooking, it's just going to sit there and rest for a couple of hours. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm with you there, Kat. So we don't need that fight anymore. Yeah. We're friends again. I've never seen Hartley's in anything else other than normal supermarket.
Yeah, I've seen it in the middle aisles recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pecans are, I'd say, a nice base. Do we do raspberry and dark chocolate?
Yeah.
Can you... There you go. There's my birthday treat.
There's been a theme for the past few years.
Has there?
Because this year now, the raspberry jelly cheesecake.
Right.
Last year was a angel mousse trifle, which also uses jelly. The year before was a giant Jaffa cake.
Right, I have jelly once a year.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only time I've had it. Oh, yeah.
I'm not doing that soon. There won't be enough chocolate. Got to smother it.
You can put pretend candles all the way around.
Someone
thought they'd drive.
Someone had the audacity to open up a car door.
Yeah.
Don't they know the dogs are on guard on Friday evening? We need to get him grippy socks as he runs around here.
He was playing with the ball earlier, lost it. He came crashing into the end of the table. He just couldn't stop. Evening, Sandra. Can you hear the dogs? Probably, yes, because they don't understand when we're live. In fact, no, Coco does usually understand when we're live because she comes and sits here and whines because we're talking that direction and she wants the attention. But they're chasing something else out there. Yes, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan. You didn't need to show that comment. Honestly.
Well, now everyone can be like, 30 candles,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 30. Yeah. That's quite nice that I've got a long weekend before my birthday. That's not happened for, do you know what, I can't remember. Cannot remember.
No. Well, we don't normally do long weekends.
No, as in, I don't know what we did. What the hell did we do last Easter? No, not a clue.
Don't know.
Not a clue.
But now the bakery has more structure in the week, then days off are more structured, if that makes sense. It's like, it's not just, what can we do now? It's a long weekend. Yeah, it just means going like that over the top, doesn't it? Probably.
Right, I'm going to fill my coffee up. It is decaf, by the way, so no coffee, police, please. You should be drinking this time of night.
See, we don't normally bother with candles.
No, or cards.
Or cards.
Or usually greetings.
I say happy birthday.
Yeah. I mean, I did say happy birthday to Louis on his 18th. That was probably the first time since he was 8. I suppose I wish you happy birthday. No, we don't do cards, Dan. I'd be offended if she sent me a card, because that means she doesn't want to talk to me. She just wants to send me a card.
Why would I give you a card? Were you going to open it and then bin it? We don't display cards in this house because there's nowhere to display cards in this house. We just, if we have something to say, we say it rather than put it in a card.
Yeah.
We do cards to other people.
Or the family WhatsApp.
Yeah, today the family WhatsApp was, here's the Netflix password.
Yeah, here's the Netflix password, yeah.
Do you want a card?
They both want to join in now. Just another day. Well, yeah, I get it. I mean, I'll be working on it's Thursday. I'll be working as normal. So it's quite nice to actually get the weekend off before it. Well planned this Easter. And actually, we've all got 3 more bank holidays to look forward to in May.
Yeah.
There are 3 bank holiday Mondays. So, on people's birthdays are selfish. What are you looking for?
My birthday's on a Monday this year.
Oh, is it?
It usually falls in and around
14th of August.
In and around results day. Results day. Yeah. So, no, but Louis' results day will be the 17th. So, Archie's birthday and Louis' results day are on the same day.
Oh, are they?
Archie's 7.
And he definitely gets cakes made for him.
He does.
I have to ask. She makes him his cakes without him asking.
Well, he can't exactly verbalise.
Well, she can. What? She thinks it's her birthday every bloody day. Oh. Right, I love you. Okay, what do you want, Coco? What do you want?
Well, don't worry, V, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and you can always drop questions in. Again, if anyone has anything sensible they want to ask, then please feel free. Somebody wants cake now. Coco just wants food.
Well, Coco didn't eat breakfast this morning.
Right.
And then told me at 3 p.m. she wanted breakfast.
Right.
And then when I gave Archie dinner at 4 p.m, she didn't want dinner at 4 p.m. So she's had 2 meals.
Yeah, 2 meals in an hour.
And actually, her bowl is empty. Archie's is half empty.
Right. Did you give him any of that pigskin?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's all gone.
It's all gone?
Mm-hmm.
My God. Should I throw a party?
Is this a pet?
Yeah.
Fine.
See, I took that as daughter rather than pet because you don't usually throw parties for your dog's birthday.
Well, that's why I thought that was the question. Do the panda wraps have coconut flour in?
Yes. It's the second ingredient.
I suppose, is everything? No, not everything panda has coconut flour, because the bread doesn't, but everything else.
The panda bread doesn't, but
anything that uses the panda pastry
anything
and
that
wrap
uses
mix.
panda flour, like so it's pastry and wraps, does. Yes. Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, I mean, it's where a lot of people tend to sort of, find them drifting back into sort of more a lower carb, so reducing the fat content and actually increasing the carbs when you've reached your sort of weight goal. And even in the conversation with Ian Lake last night, we're talking about sort of, the different strategies that you can use. When you've achieved whatever goal it was, whether it was a health issue that you had, or whether it was a weight thing that you were trying to sort of deal with. Essentially the principle is still the same. You're still looking at sort of keeping out the sugar and the high carb items, so that doesn't change. But then you might, and I know a lot of people do this, increase the carbs, not necessarily every day, but maybe a few days a week, and increasing them using beans and pulses and things, the better quality carbs rather than the starchy carbs. And actually just tailor down the fat, so maybe less dairy, less cream on certain days, and just fluctuate, with that. It's something that's been done time and time again by people that once they've achieved their. It depends what you feel, how you feel on it as well. I know people that have reached their goal, so their weight goal, and have consistently have remained then in that high fat bracket rather than increased carbs. They feel great in that. Sorry?
You're one of them.
Well, yeah, I'm one of them. I don't eat, I tend to not eat much in the way of carbs. In fact, I'm just thinking, what's the carb value on the enchiladas that I've just had for dinner?
12-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's probably my maximum that I would eat in a day. So yeah, I mean, you play around with it and just understand that the protein's always the central part of what you're doing. Eat well there and fluctuate with the others. And it may just be bringing fat down a couple of percent and increasing carbs by a few percent. It's very straightforward because if you're making your own food, you can just add in a little bit of extra carb, a few more veggies, and maybe add a little less cheese or a little less oil. Right. Did you want to join in?
I've invited her up.
Because they can't see you. Come on. Come on. Excellent. Brilliant. So again, that was something else we were talking about last night, and something we gave Dan to think about as well when he's doing his marathon training.
Jan.
Stop kicking the dog. Look, she's just sat here. She's just sat here watching. Just staring at me, actually.
She just wants to sit there and speak occasionally.
And she's out of reach. Is
it possible to cook a steak and an ninja with fried onions at the same time?
I would cook the steak first, take the steak out to let it rest, and cook the onions in the steak juices that are in the pan. I wouldn't try and do it at the same time because the onions will just disappear, shrivel. So I would, if you're going to use the grill, is it the grill or have you got? It doesn't really matter. If you're going to use the grill, or if you're going to, the foodie has a grill, doesn't it? Or it has a grill plate, doesn't it? As in the mesh, has a grill. That has a salamander grill. That's the bit that heats up and then sears it.
Right.
But I suppose the foodie has the frame that sits inside.
Yeah, so wire wraps.
Yeah. So I would grill. Right. So 9 in 1. So the foodie. I would grill. Cook your meat first. Cook your steak first, and then obviously all the juices at the bottom. I suppose with the foodie you might get away with it because obviously the onions are not going to see the direct heat. So you could do it, but I'd still give the steak longer than the onions, just purely because you might end up shriveling up and end up in a bit of a burnt mess. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Again, quite true, Kat. Some days you'll, and this is the thing about sort of having fluctuating days. If you try and eat the same way every single day, you're probably not really going to enjoy it. You know, if you only eat the same things, if you stick to this. She did this all last night while we're online. Actually having fluctuations where some days you'll eat one meal, some days you eat 2 meals, some days you have a few more carbs, some days you go really high protein, you know, fluctuating it, and actually then see how you feel. See which days actually suit you best. Maybe on busier days, you'll go with the OMAD and high protein. And on the less busier days, you might have so 3 meals and they might have 10, 15 grams of carbs per meal. Excuse you. She doesn't even look embarrassed by that either. I'm not sure the microphone picked that one up. Okay. Are there any other questions? Come on. Let's.
Do you want to come up?
No, she wants another lovely snack. I forgot what I said. I was in the.
Probably just varying.
The varying.
Yeah.
Coco!
Oh my god!
Don't look at Archie. It wasn't him. He's way too far away for that.
Sorry, it is, Jane.
Pulled her ears back. No wonder. No point whining. You did it. Yeah, what is eating properly anyway? I mean, I got told off for shoveling food in my mouth when I was alive. I mean, you know, eat what you like when you're hungry. Yeah. I think again that was the conversation, part of the conversation we had with Ian last night. You know, within surgery, people sort of trying low carb to help with their diabetes, and suddenly realizing they're not as hungry, and it might take a little bit of time, but you know, once you get to that sort of point where you're not eating as often, you wonder why you ever ate 6-7 times a day. How do we get the sea crackers much thinner? You can only go so thin.
Mill them.
Yeah, so you could mill the seeds, because obviously the more whole seeds you've got, the thicker the base will, the thicker the cracker will be. If you mill them, then obviously you can push them out a bit further, but if you push them out too far, they just won't hold. They'll just crack.
She just shuts up as soon as you look at her.
She shuffles backwards.
She's the most unladylike dog. She has the posture of a shrimp. I think, I've never tried milling them all, but I think Kerry Barry just mills the whole lot.
So it'd be like a paste almost that you put in there.
And if you're using the cheesy seed cracker recipe, it's easier to get them thin because they hold together a little bit more because the cheese is there. We should give her a mic.
Funny enough, I tried when Liam was live on Tuesday in the members group. I had some panda wraps and I fried them in some oil. So we were going to be deep frying something, or shallow frying. So I fried some of the wedges, so like Dorito sort of shapes, and they sort of worked. They went reasonably crispy, but they were definitely an ideal for dips. So if you've got any panda wraps and you've got a little bit of lard or a little bit of coconut oil, deep fry them. Just cut them into little pieces, little strips or whatever. Right, you're going outside in a second.
Go and sunbathe. You like sunbathing?
Honestly, she's going outside now, definitely. Out. Off you go. Out. Honestly. Smell and the noise.
She looks you dead in the eye.
Wow. Yeah, so I was sorry, let's go to the top. Sorry, Esther. We're going to. Is it May?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
London
Yes.
Festival.
So Keto Roma will be at the London Keto Low-carb Fest, Food Fest, whatever they call it.
I'm just checking if tickets are on now because yeah, everyone asks for smelly vision. You don't want.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah. So there's a link to the festival.
Okay. She's one of my favorite things. It's good. Yeah. So it was panda wrap that I was frying. I just cut them into little wedges and then I fried them. I'll do it on a live soon because there's a few things that I've been doing with the panda flour, the panda pastry. So I just want to sort of show a few new things. But that was one of them, and they work. And actually, when they cooled down, they got a little bit crispier. And it was weird. They almost had the same texture or taste as crisps. So almost like potato inside, but obviously it's not.
So she has what's the brand of kibble?
Oh, I can't remember. They have a sort of like a meat-based kibble, but then they have Greek yogurt on top, peanut butter on top.
They have a bowl of kibble with water.
Or stock.
And then a topping of choice, and we rotate between the toppings. So there's nothing new.
She's always like this. She's always like this.
She's just eaten a lot in the space of an hour.
The pair of them stick their face in their meals as well and come out with a complete white face when they've got yogurt in there. They love it. I'll do a live on the panda, sort of deep fried panda, because we made like pancake rolls and the puri as well. So the roti are. If anyone's got any, that's better. If anyone's got any roti kicking around in your freezer, let it defrost and fry it. Stick it in some oil. It literally takes seconds. I mean, hot oil, 180 degrees, in, turn it, out. It literally is 2 seconds in there. Stunning, absolutely stunning. So I definitely recommend you do that. But I'll do that on a live. I'm not sure. Am I doing a live next week? Because
I haven't put plenty.
No, I'm not sure. Going to have much time.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Goat's milk yogurt.
Okay. Seriously, they would put their head in the pot, and especially the size of the pot that I've got in the fridge at the moment, RG could get his head inside it. They went off the crave. Yeah, they went off it. They stopped eating it, both of them, which is unusual. They don't. I think it's more her that she must tell him, because he didn't change brand for years, and then suddenly she comes along and she has a different brand every 4 to 6 months.
Yeah. Oh. She's the one that's in charge.
Yeah, so I'd say deep fried. I mean, shallow fried. When it's an inch of oil, and it's just tipped in. It probably wouldn't be the same if you just tried to a little bit of oil in the pan and tried to fry it, because it wouldn't get when it hits the oil, you see a lot of the moisture coming out. You won't get that if you try and pan fry it. I'll do the video and I'll show you how to do it.
I've heard of the Lily's Kitchen brand.
Right, don't know that one.
I don't know much about it. I've heard of it.
So Lily's Kitchen is this dog food or is this for us?
This is
dog food. Right, okay. Well,
I heard of it because I saw a dog-friendly advent calendar.
Oh, okay.
And that was the brand.
Give them sprouts in beef stock.
They like sprouts.
Actually, they do like sprouts.
They don't like eating them. They're just like tearing them apart.
Yeah. They like them cooked with bacon. Which is the best way to have sprouts, obviously.
RG doesn't have a roast dinner, does he?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, when I say deep fry, I just use one of our small frying pans, a tiny little thing, with just sort of, not even an inch of oil is needed, because it just needs to fit the roti in it. So it's just a very small amount. I'm not talking about big deep fat fryer. It's just a complete waste of oil. Sorry, don't look at food. No, definitely no sprouts for Coco. In fact, she hasn't had much veg at all. I don't think I've ever really fed her much
She
in
is
the way of
more
veg.
carnivore than Argy is. Argy likes peas. Especially in the slow feeder bowl. It reminds me of those mazes that you get.
Yeah. He can never get hold of them.
No.
Never get hold of them. Oh, we haven't got a countdown tonight because I think Karen's away, isn't she? We'll be all right, though. We'll be all right. And John's away. Oh, brilliant. Well done, Stuart. Oh, did you do Yorkshire puddings once, or am I thinking of something else? No, I've done Yorkshire puddings loads of times, Kat. Tons of times. I think the best version is the cream and the arrowroot, isn't it? You don't... Arrowroot as a product is thanks, Sue. Arrowroot as a product is high carb, but you only use a very small amount. So I think it was something like 8 grams of arrowroot that made 4 Yorkshire puddings, something like that. So it's a very, very small amount. And again, it's not something that we would make on we haven't made them for about a year at least, if not longer. Yeah. We did try with Panda last year and it just didn't work. Just can't get the you can get them to rise, but you can't get them to stay risen. Did you think making? No, see, we make the lasagna using the round. Here's the trick that Liam uses. So he gets the round wraps, slices it in half, and turns it so the straight edge is on the outside of the bowl. And then, all right, we're using big trays. So he lays the flat edge around the outside of the tray and then uses round wraps in the center to layer them. So you just get the round wrap, slice it down the middle, and then flat side on the outside.
If we had a press that pressed things into rectangles.
Yeah, the press
makes circles.
Makes circles, yes. Our root. that's the. It's got a Yorkshire filter on it. I think the other version is gluten, isn't it?
Arrowroot and gluten.
Yeah.
The combination.
Yeah. So I think the gluten one would be more authentic. Again, I bet that's been 4 years since we've done that one. So. All right. Okay. So you need to fill carb eaters. I'd probably say if you're trying to fool people and you want a proper, really crispy Yorkshire pudding, I'd probably go with the gluten one. If they, are not used to low carb stuff at all.
It'll probably be a bit more stable.
Yeah. Actually, no. If you see, I didn't know this. The boy Wonder told me about this.
Oh, you wondered why no matter what shape the dough ball went in the press.
Yeah, it comes out round. So it doesn't matter what shape you put in. You can make it whatever shape you want. It doesn't have to be a ball. If you put a piece of dough inside a press, what comes out is a circle. It's science, apparently. I don't understand it, but it's science. You do that. Right. Wondering what you're doing then. But yes, aubergines for moussaka. Yeah, well, that's a nice one. You can use all sorts of things for layers. I mean, we've used obviously cabbage, cheese, bacon. I mean, lasagna made with bacon sheets is fantastic. But yeah, we're not making. Can you hear her outside now? Kicked her out there. Do I still? No, I don't, because I use a big press, or I've actually got a dough roller, so it's an automatic roller.
That's the only way you get rectangular is if you've got a pasta roller.
It creates ovals, so you'd have to still square it off.
Yeah, but you'd use less waste. You'd have less waste than if you
okay, potentially yes, but yeah, you.
But it would also, I don't know how well the panda mix would actually go through a
It breaks up.
pasta.
It breaks up. I've tried it in the dough roller. It just disintegrates. I'm trying to up my protein for gym. Any recommendations for corned beef? Yeah, make corned beef waffles. So blitz it with egg, whack it in your waffle machine, and because you can eat them cold. And you've mixed obviously processed beef, but it's only salt and a bit of preservative, and a great source of protein and fat. So perfect. You can make corned beef quiche as well, so you can actually sort of use the corned beef as the pastry. So just mush up corned beef, press it into the tray, add your eggs on top. Again, done. There you go, corned beef quiche. I was thinking exactly the same thing. Great sort of, again, the ideal snacks. Again, it was Matt asking, was it Matt early asking for snacks? Yes, it was, wasn't it? Or quick meals.
Yeah, quick meals.
Something like a corned beef waffle or a corned beef quiche in the fridge. Ideal. You can't squash dough in a clothing mangle. Well, you're not supposed to, Kat, anyway. Savoury snacks, I think they are often overlooked. People sort of tend to think that if it's not the main meal, then it shouldn't need to be protein. Therefore, the snack might be, nuts and seeds, might be yogurt. Well, actually, you can make, Scotch eggs. You can make mini ones as a snack. You can make mini quiches. You can make the waffles. They're all, quick bites to eat. The corned beef waffle is one of my favourite. If ever I buy corned beef, it's usually because I'm making that. Right, we better go. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Again, apologies, it's been several weeks. And we'll see you sometime next week. We're not quite sure because it's obviously a shortened week next week. We're going to have a bit of a backlog to deal with because of the Easter break. So we'll try and get live. It might be Friday for me.
Yeah, I don't know the timetable yet. But
at least by Friday, I don't have to think about what's happening the following day. Right, okay. Thank you for joining us. See you all soon. Bye.